Welcome back to another episode of Sprocket&Claw. Today we're excited to announce a brand new piece of gear that is certainly going to make our life a lot easier and hopefully will extend that ease and affordability to you. We have just purchased a BlackMagic Cintel scanner, so we wanted to dive in because there's absolutely nothing online about these scanners. The only things that are online about it came out when it was originally released, and no one really talks about the technical side of it, which we're not going to dive a ton into today, but no one really shows how to load it, how it works, what it does, and we want to dive in that today and show you all about it. Before we actually load film onto the scanner, I'm going to go ahead and calibrate the sensor. So you want to calibrate the sensor at the appropriate gate size before you load film into it. We're going to do that in DaVinci Resolve. In Resolve, in the media workspace, in the upper right hand corner is the capture button, and there's video and film. When you click on the film scanner, if you have the film scanner attached to your computer, then it will show up right here. Right now it's showing 35mm 4-perf. We're going to switch that to 16mm, which is the gate size we have in today, and it's negative film. So we're going to go ahead and hit the calibrate button. You should do this with the doors shut on the scanner. And now the scanner has been calibrated. All right, this is the BlackMagic Cintel. We are going to throw some 16mm film on here today and scan that for you. We're going to show you how to load the scanner and also how to control the scanner through DaVinci Resolve. BlackMagic has made it very, very easy for you to just plug this thing in. I went out and bought this workbench for a few $100 and threw the scanner on there, plugged it in with a Thunderbolt 2 cable, and I was able to see it immediately in DaVinci Resolve. To my knowledge, there's no other scanner on the market that allows you to just plug it into your MacBook Pro and go. So first of all, you may notice if you've seen photos of this before that this whole entire camera system is exposed. When this was shipped from BlackMagic, it didn't actually have the cover. I've contacted BlackMagic and they don't sell the cover for this as a part. So if anybody out there works at BlackMagic and they can get me a cover for this camera, that would be great. Appreciate it. What we're going to do first is just grab some 16mm, load it on here, and kind of walk you through how to thread the scanner. All right, so I've got a roll of 16mm that I've had I shot this back in 2012. Actually threw some of these images, or I'll throw some of these images up on Instagram for you to check out before this comes out. So the first thing we're going to want to do is 16mm wants to run with the leader coming out the left side. When we do a show on 35, it'll actually come out this way. So this is all to make sure that the emulsion is down, is facing up to the camera so that we're scanning the emulsion side. Now this is just going to be a simple thread that allows the film to stay tight over the gate, and then it'll come back to the take-up side where this whole system runs in unison at one time. So the first thing we need to do is, I'm not going to explain up over whatever, just have a look at how this. So these yellow rollers are actually sticky rollers that help pick up dust while you're scanning. While your film's going over this, it's actually picking up the dust. And inside of these channels, you'll see that this has the 35mm sprockets are on the outside, and then the 16 are on the inside. They're kind of hard to see, the 16mm are. So we're just going to duplicate the other side. They're kind of mirrored. Go over the sticky rollers. Come outside this last roller, and then you're ready to go up on your feed side right here. So you'll need an additional core. So the Cintel actually ships as a 35mm scanner, and if you want to scan 16mm, you have to buy the gate. And the gate comes with this set. This is already with the scanner, but this is a little spacer, and then there's another spacer behind the disc where the roll of film goes on. So without this little piece and a couple of other pieces, you can't actually do 16mm because the spacing is off. So with these, the spacers just need to click onto right where the roll of film is, and it has this little notch that all mags come with, or all cores come with, and that clicks on there, and this essentially just applies pressure so that the film is tight against the disc. So same thing on the other side. You want to make sure that your spacer is in and your little lock is in place. There's this little notch in the core. We're gonna feed the film in there. I like to throw a little piece of tape on that just so that it'll grab it. And then we're gonna do a few turns by hand without the film actually loaded, which that may be confusing now, but I'm gonna show you in a minute. You can actually freely spin these wheels by hand. So that's good. And now we're gonna come down to the console. All right, so now that we've got the film threaded through, this load button, when I first got it, was a bit confusing. And so, hey, there's no videos online about this, so I had to figure this out for myself. Once you get the film tight, you need to go into DaVinci and make sure that Resolve has the wheels running in the right direction for 16mm. So we're back in DaVinci in the same workspace that we calibrated the scanner at. And what we need to do is, the last thing that I scanned on this was 35mm, so I have the reels going in the wrong way. So we want to make sure that both the supply and take-up reel for 16mm is set to A. Once that's set correctly, we can push the load button on the console and it will load the film and it will tension up and be ready to scan. On the scanner itself, there's some console controls, and you have load, which is what we're getting ready to do. You have reverse, you have step back a frame, you have stop, play, step forward, and fast forward. So it's a lot like a tape deck, if you're old enough to remember those. So for now, we need to load the film so that it creates the proper amount of tension against the reels. Now that the film is loaded, what we're seeing is the leader, and that's for either the scanning tech or for a projectionist. In this case, for the scanner, we want to get the film actually passing through the gate. So I'm going to hit play until the leader is gone and we see film come across the gate. And as soon as we get to that point, I'm going to stop the film, and we're going to advance frame by frame until we see the hole punch, which is a sync punch for timecode. Now that we're in DaVinci Resolve and the film is loaded, we want to make sure that we shut the doors on the scanner. And I'm going to do a simple auto black on the film, which essentially is just the scanner using the outside of the frame here to determine what black is for the film stock. And there it is. So the auto black has happened, and this is where we're actually going to start scanning our film. Here, really the only other thing you have to do, there's all sorts of features that I kind of want to probably get into in future episodes, but for this purpose, this video, we just want to talk through how to get scanning the film. So here, we've done our auto black. I'm feeling pretty good about that. I want to enable both X and Y stabilization so that we can stabilize the image. BlackMagic uses a different style of stabilization. They're using their software-based stabilization. And so we want to turn those on, and we're going to browse to our folder that we want to put the file in. And I've just set up a test folder. Let's see, YT testy. Okay, we're scanning the entire gate area at 2304 by 1712. So now all that's left to do is to capture, and as soon as you hit capture now, the film will start running through and we'll start scanning the film. To think that we can throw this up on a $30,000 scanner at real time and get beautiful looking scans from it from film is like a dream come true for me. I've been trying to scan my own film for, nearly a decade. So seeing this image for the first time and running this thing for the first time, as easy as it is, I'm sold. Like I would just say that I'd love to see BlackMagic upgrade the camera, maybe make some advancements in resolution for smaller gauges, maybe add 8mm. I don't even know if that's possible, but that would be really great. Just to be able to use this service for myself and also offer it to everybody else out there. We are super excited to have this scanner on the bench and excited to be able to offer scanning to all of you out there as well. We just launched a brand new website at midwestfilmco.com, and go check it out. Right now it's kind of changing every day. We're updating it. We're going to be adding products that you can purchase besides scanning. We're talking about adding an entire rental fleet of film cameras and lenses, and all of that will be, towards the end of this year and beginning of next year. But be sure to look out for that, whether it be a Bull-X or SR2s, 35-16. We really want to offer everything you guys need to go out and shoot film yourself. We'll catch you next time.